Hello and welcome to another edition of Chesapeake Hockey Week, the season finale edition of Chesapeake Hockey Week. I'm your host, Scotty Wazz. How are you guys doing? It's been a minute. Been a little bit of a second. Had to get some things in order. But we're back, and just in time to end out the year, as we'll get to the the United States Naval Academy's women's squad going to nationals, and they had pool play. And unfortunately, not able to get out of the pool play as they lost twice in their venture. Game one, they took on Wisconsin, and it was almost a low shooting situation. I mean, Navy got into a lot of penalty trouble. Wisconsin, not really pressing too much, but they were able to get 2 goals in each of the periods and shut out Navy by a score of 6-0. With Deanna Privroto playing the first 2 periods. Stopping 15 before Isabella Gorkowski gets in for 3 saves in the end. So a tough one for Naval Academy to start off with as Wisconsin goes ahead and gets that big victory. Game 2, however, the Naval Academy able to get their bearings about them and had a big win against Mercyhurst on that Monday game. Even though Ellie Shao scores the opening goal for Mercyhurst, 3:32 in. Riley Sherlock gets her first from Kayla DeLetto. And in the playoffs, it's all the first. So Riley Sherlock gets the goal from Kayla DeLetto, and then at the middle part of the frame, Tess Clark gets a goal from Haynes and Sherlock to make it 2-1 going into the second period. In the second period, on the power play, Abby Sears gets on the board, making it 3-1. And then in the third period, towards the middle part of the frame, Anna Peterson gets a shorthanded goal, with Tess Clark getting the assist. Tess Clark also had the power play assist, so a goal and 2 assists. And then Peterson gets her second of the period with 3:05 remaining. Her second of the game from Chloe Haynes to make it 5-1, and a late goal from Marina Everett for Mercyhurst made it 5-2. But the 5-2 final is in favor of Navy. Privroto gets 24 saves into this one as Navy outshoots Mercyhurst 47-26. So came down to Tuesday matchup, St. Patty's Day matchup. That's how far we are. Sorry about that. Against Boston College, and unfortunately, while Tess Clark did have her second of the tournament from Abby Sears and Anna Peterson, a 4-goal first period from BC, as well as 3 in the next 2 periods, made it a 7-1 game for BC, as they outshoot Navy 40-31 and get the win 7-1. Privroto with 16 saves through the first period and change, and then she got pulled for Gorkowski, and Gorkowski made 17 saves on 20 shots. So a tough go about it for Navy, and unfortunately not able to get out of pool play in this one, and kind of shows, I guess, how much the DVCHC is evolving. Is Navy and Delaware were classes of the DVCHC. Now Liberty and Rowan have caught up and gotten to it. So Villanova also has a very steady team as well. So the DVCHC is very healthy in talent, and Navy finishing 3rd in the DVCHC, but able to get to the finals and also able to get to the national championships. A solid showing from them. But we, again, as with turnover as it is, we will see what this team will yield next season. Could be some new faces from new places, so we will see how this all pans out. In that same kind of vein, you look at what they did this year. I mean, Tess Clark had 20 goals and 34 points. Solid showing from her. B. Garvey had a standout season as well from the blue line with 21 points. That did Chloe Haynes chipping in with 10 and 10. Other 10 goal scorers include Riley Sherlock and Anna Peterson in that end. On the goaltending side, it was Deanna Privroto's net to lose, as she went ahead and she had a solid 16-7-0 record with a 213 goals against and a 925 save percentage. Isabella Gorkowski got into a couple games with a 1 goal against and a 950 save percentage. Double teamed with a shutout there at the end for both of them. So we will see how this all pans out for both squad, or for Navy, and what they can do starting next season, and how this is all going to go about. Should be a fun one. They always find the talent there, and they always put a solid team effort. So I don't expect next year to be any different. University of Maryland also in the DVCHC. They finished 6th, 3 wins, 12 losses, an overtime loss, and then 2 ties. But they had a little bit of a rough go about it. Not necessarily the big year that they had last year. I mean, Grace Wildberger, consistent as ever, 12 goals, 22 points in those games. Danny Burr getting in some action, as well as the Zubak sisters of Carolyn and Evelyn. Solid contributions in net. But, you see, a couple other people, Andrea Borsch, not necessarily getting as many touches as usual. Jenna Nallman kind of the same way. So very interesting turnabout for this team. In goal, I mean, it was Molly Hillier who had a solid effort overall, with Adlin Pine getting in there for an injury situation, as she was a forward and had to go in there for either an injury risk game or something. So Maryland, a little work to do, but I think that they're going to be able to come out of it on the better side of things. And if they can keep things going, they have quite the presence on campus, and they will have the team to do it. But it's just a matter of getting it all together, get everybody kind of revved up and going for those games. Like I said, DVCHC is a tough conference, and they're going to have to get ready to compete next season. So we will see how this all fares for them. Looking at Maryland on the men's side, and they had a little bit of a interesting season, I would say so. A pretty decent season. I mean, you lose the firepower that they did, like Tucker Healy, Trevor Drake, Daniel Tomaszewski, just to name a few. It's kind of tough boating when you have to lose all that firepower and then kind of start anew. But somehow, some way, they were able to do it. They had a hell of a run in the ACCHL Premier League, and that kind of big run at the end there, the Cinderella story, almost winning the whole dang thing, but coming up just short in overtime. So a tough one to swallow, but a good building blocks there. Patrick Harnan with 28 points this year. Brian Teskey also had another solid season for himself with 25 points from the blue line. And, you had Grant Warner and Travis DeShane, kind of the elder statesman on this team, as well as Caleb Craven, who brings a little bit of a leadership role to this team as well, and he gets his first full season in overall. So, not too bad. Again, building blocks from there for Maryland. Patrick Adams and Jack Pharisee in the net, and Pharisee was a big find for them as the freshman, playing very, very well, especially down the stretch. Patrick Adams, a little bit of rough go about it here and there, but he still had a solid season for himself in the grand scheme of things. So the future does look bright for those for the team, and I think that they will make things work. They'll get things together, and this is a team that can come. They have a big following, a big support staff around them, so it's a good showing for this team, and we will see how they can bounce back from this. Again, you're going to have a couple people leaving as well, but at the same time, I mean, the amount of talent they've been able to get in year after year ain't too shabby. So they will they always find a way, and I'm sure they'll find a way next year to get back in it, be up there, and rather than play the role of the underdog, be the overdog. Wrapping around with the club segment and the Naval Academy, they had a tough year. Another off year for them last year. I mean, this year they made the playoffs. Last year they did not, so they're not necessarily on the outside looking in. But at the same time, it's not the good old days that they used to. So this team is going to definitely have to dig deep going further. But they had plenty of output. Butler Chesson with 20 goals, sneaky 20 goals for himself. Patrick Laughlin with 37 points this year. Sean Milonette also with 26 points. Andrew Pencha with 25 points. So the offense kind of was there. I mean, it was, by design they had, just a lot of guys contributing here, there, and everywhere. And the goaltending wasn't that bad either. I mean, it was decent. I mean, sure, you can say it with any kind of situation where, if you make another save or whatever. But by and large, this team did have their ups and downs, and they're a very streaky team. They really couldn't put a lot of wins together, and I think that was kind of the downfall, is that they just really couldn't put a lot of wins together, get kind of a vibe going, get a flow going for themselves, and that kind of how they came up a little short. So a tough go about it. I mean, they also had, they lost in the opening round of the crab pot as well. So that's a little bit of a killer in terms of, just the mindset of it all. So we will see what they can do next season. They, you progressively get better and better and better. But again, like with any service academy, it's just a matter of how teams are built and what kind of talent you get in from that and how they can go from there. But getting into the playoffs after a season off is a good first step. And just, again, improve as ECHA, again, getting better and better, and more teams in there, too. So the competitive nature with this, you're going to have 3 teams each season that is not going to make the playoff. So that's a tough go about it, too. So you have to kind of, look at that and hope for the best and figure out what you're going to do on the word go, from the word jump. Towson, they had themselves a season missing the playoffs again. This is a team that is, again, we've said it for the past couple of years here. They seem to put a lot of things together really well, and then somehow, some way, they get caught up into some just explosive firefights against other teams, and the shots against are insane. And the goal scoring, not necessarily there outside of the first line. I mean, James Harwood, Jerry Wilson, and Keegan Jensen were your top guys. And after that, there's a big fall off. I mean, Caleb Abaddon chipped in 8 goals here and there, but after that, only 4 guys having more than 2 goals this season. That's not a good monicum for success. So plenty of work to be done in recruiting wise and just overall for Towson this year. Goaltending, I mean, they faced a ton of shots just in general. I mean, their goaltending was facing 52 shots a game on average for their 33 games. So it's kind of crazy when you look at Anthony Brooks' numbers. He's got a .909 save percentage. So, I mean, he almost had 1,000 shots thrown at him in 22 games. Or he had over 1,000 shots thrown at him in 22 games. He made 969 saves this season. So, I mean, this is a team that, they rely heavily on their goaltending, and sometimes, you can only – the dam breaks every now and again. So it's not – they were a minus 94 in goal differential, which, again, you have only you have 4 guys who are scoring 8 goals or more, and the rest of the team is not. It's not great. So it's an interesting situation in Towson. We will have to see how they can bandy about, how they can bounce back, and what they can do ahead of time. And maybe, just maybe, develop a little bit more. Who knows? I don't think they're ever going to go down to D2, but at the same time, if things don't work out, you might be kind of forced to, almost. Unfortunately, it's, if you want to be competitive, you have to do that, or you have to get competitive players in there. So we'll see how this all turns out for Towson and what they can come up with next season. On to the NCAA side of things, the D3 side of things, we'll head out to Frederick with Hood College, who had a remarkable second season for themselves, 14-9-2, missing out on the MAC playoffs just by a couple of points, but a sensational season from Josh Funk and the team out there in Frederick. So, I mean, a huge move. I mean, first off, you get back on your home ice. Skate Frederick opened up, and you're able to, have a home rink to call your own. You're not bussing back and forth to Hagerstown or elsewhere. So that's a A plus. I mean, to have a place to, put your stakes down in, very solid. And then I think overall, when you look at this team, I mean, sure. I mean, Sophie Ancona had a solid year, 35 points, 18 goals, 17 assists. Maya Cheeseborough also had a solid year, 24 points, including 8 goals. But everyone kind of contributed to the success in this one. So that's a huge point of attention for this team. Everyone kind of just chipping in here and there where they could possible. So I mean, that's solid for the skater wise. Pretty dang good for themselves in net. It used to have 4 goaltenders. Now they're down to just 2, and Maggie Gravala with a solid record, 9-7-2 with 2 shutouts and two ties, a .929 save percentage. So she upped her game in a big way with a .232 goals against. Not to say anything about Cameron Sonner, who had a solid season herself, 5-2 with a .330 goals against and a .894 save percentage and 1 shutout. So a good tandem that they have back there in net for this team. And again, another step in this situation. You're going to get a lot more eyes on you. You're going to get a lot better recruiting that way. And then it's, again, a young team. This is a team that doesn't have it didn't have anybody above a sophomore this year. So I mean, that's very solid. I mean, you're going to have this team grow a lot more with each other. I mean, a lot of the first-year players are going to jump into a bigger role next season when the sophomores become, upperclassmen. It's going to be huge for them. So, I mean, you look at all that they're putting together. It's a great team that they have. So only going to go upward moving forward for this squad. So they're going to be a team to look out for sure. I mean, this is a team that's definitely going to turn some heads. They already have. They will turn some heads even more so next year. One of their rivals in the MAC is right down I-70, and that's Stevenson University and the Mustangs. They're a coaching change this season for the team. So, I mean, you have a new coaching staff in there with Ben Halford being in there. Madison Nichols also getting in there as an assistant coach. So, I mean, you have a new system, everything going on there. Former University of Maryland Terrapin forward Liam Eden also getting in there as a volunteer assistant coach. So kind of in the right direction. And unfortunately, this year for Stevenson, they didn't have the best luck. 420-1 on the year. But a lot of these games, they were close. I mean, they weren't getting fully, just worked. I mean, they had a lot of wins. They were out shooting a lot of the opponents. And many times, I mean, this is a situation where they played these games close. So when you look at, the team and you look at what this team has gone through and just the overhaul of the program, to be in those games and by and large also out shooting opponents as well. You look at the shots, I mean, sure, the goal differential a little bit skewed, but the shot differential, it's not like it was that far off. I think it's 50 shots over the season. So, I mean, you're getting 31 shots a game against almost 34. I mean, that's not terrible discrepancy. It's just, trying to find the back of net. You face hot goaltenders. It's going to be a tough situation there. But, I mean, by and large, this team did what they were, they improved from what they had last year in terms of just being in games. I mean, Evan DeMann had a solid season. Her and Megan Croyle tie for the team lead in there. Carly Barwick, again, another veteran, getting in there. Kiana Baker with a solid performance this season as well. Jalen Jones, Abby Smith, a lot of names that we're not necessarily, hearing too much of from last year, stepping up this year. So, I mean, this is a team, again, in flux with a new coaching staff. That's going to be a little bit of stuff to look forward to next year. I mean, you're going to be losing someone like Maggie Dean and also Maggie Sinert. Maggie Sinert had a decent season this year in net, faced a lot of shots, had a .901 save percentage, 212-1. But Emily Carson's right there behind. She's ready to pick up the mantle on that one. She went 2-7-0 with a .921 save percentage and a .233 goals against. So I mean, you look at those numbers in that kind of space in the vacuum. It's okay. Sure, she has 7 losses, but only let up not even 2.5 goals a game. Saving 92% of the shots she faces. It's a progress. It's a work in progress with this squad, and I think they have the leadership to do it. And once they kind of get their identity from the coaching staff, it will be good. It will work out for them in the grand scheme of things. So nothing but good things, I think, to look at for Stevenson. Another improvement off of last season. So I mean, again, step by step. That's all you can hope for. All you can do, and you move on from there. On the men's side of things for Stevenson, another coaching change. Matt Bruneteau getting in there for his first year with Connor Layton there as an assistant coach and Brad Powell. You look at just what this team's done. Last year you come off a D3 national championship tournament appearance, and you have a new coaching staff in place. So you have to learn kind of how things go from that one. And this is a team that played very well. I mean, this is a team that kind of didn't necessarily miss too much of a step. 16-10-1 on the season, 13-6-1 in conference, which is a big determining factor too. I mean, they outshot opponents by over 100, almost 150 on the year. Outscored opponents. I mean, they had decent success this year. If you look at it, John Musella, again, another playmaking season for him. Blake Benson, Jack Carlson, Caden Smith jumping in there with 15 goals, winning the Cy Young Award with 15 goals and 5 assists. Carson Galen getting in there as well. We heard a lot of his name being shouted out there, as well as Greg Spitznagel jumping in here and there as well. The big thing now is with Carlson, he is out. Blake Benson, he's gone. Masella's going to be gone as a senior. Caden Smith going to be gone as a senior. So who's going to step up in these roles now? And that's going to be the determining factor. How these guys, what these guys are able to do. Who's going to jump in to these scenarios as well. So I mean, for DeLoss, he towards the end of the season we kind of saw Lewis Finnegan getting more chances in there. I mean, he's been through the the D3 situation as well. Ford DeLoss going to be graduating, so we will see how this pans out for them. I mean, Jake Houston is there as well, and Houston been in the system for 2 years so far. So, I mean, a decent showing for this team with a new coaching staff and everything, all things considered, good showing for them. So we will see how they grow for next season. Maybe they can get back to the promised land in that D3 tournament again. You look at. They lost in the championship game in overtime by 1. That could have propelled them into the national championship picture. So, but it didn't. And we just look at, and you get to a championship game in your conference, pretty damn solid. So we will see how this all pans out for them and what we can look forward to next season for the Green Horses. Let's get to some players. A couple of players to speak of in this one. First off, Sam Annis, shout out to him. Breaking the KHL scoring record, 89 points this season. What a showing from him. 32 goals, 57 assists for the 89 points as Dynamo Minsk goes into the playoffs as they are in the conference semifinals. They'll be taking on Akbar Kazan. So we will see how this all pans out. But a hell of a showing for Sam Annis this year. Record-breaking for him, the Potomac guy. Getting things done over there in the KHL. Got 2 goals and an assist so far in 4 games in the playoffs for Minsk as they beat Dynamo in a sweep 4 games straight. Dynamo Moscow, it is, against Dynamo Minsk. There's a Y and an I. It's all kinds of crazy stuff. Charlie Serrato, he has signed his first pro contract as he took 2 years at Penn State and said, Stugats, I'm out of here, as he has signed an ATO with the Chicago Wolves of the AHL. Hasn't gotten to a game yet this year, but Serrato leaves Penn State with a solid showing for the Falston, Maryland native. In 61 games, he had 22 goals, 47 points for 69 points, or 47 assists for 69 points. Nice in his career. So he will move on to the development program for Carolina, the second-round pick. So we will kind of look at that. Look at how he goes next year. So congratulations to Charlie for signing that contract. And congratulations to Lacey Eden. What a college career for her as the University of Wisconsin Badgers win their 4th NCAA Women's Championship with Lacey Eden in the lineup. 4 championships in 5 years for Eden at University of Wisconsin. And, man, only person in NCAA history to do that. That's pretty damn cool, man, for the Annapolis, Maryland native. And she ends her college career with 105 goals, 140 assists for 245 points in 178 games. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Not going to lie to you. That's a good showing overall. We will see what she does with her career moving forward. Obviously, the PWHL could be a call-in, and we will see and track her every move for the O2 out of Annapolis. But again, congratulations for NCAA titles. That's freaking awesome, man. Patrick Giles had himself a couple of weeks. He's currently at 10 goals and 12 assists for 22 points with the San Jose Barracuda, and also got into a game with the Sharks earlier this year with an assist to his name. Holiday's got another call up to Ottawa. He's currently there right now as he's kind of injured right now. He hasn't played since the March 3rd. But in Ottawa, he's got 4 goals and 11 points in 28 games. In Belleville, he's got 27 assists and 29 points in 29 games for him. So congratulations in that one. Blake Montgomery has got himself a Frozen Four appearance in his future. They will play on Thursday night. The University of Wisconsin will against the University of North Dakota for his first year. So far, 36 games, 17 points, including 9 goals and 8 assists for the Annapolis native. Meanwhile, his brother Bryce up in the AHL playing for in the ECHL with the Greensboro Gargoyles, currently with a goal and 4 assists. Got his goal on the 20th of March so far, so 5 points, already surpassing or close to his total last year. He's been kind of splitting the season between Greensboro and Chicago, so that's a tough row to hoe for anybody involved. So good on him for going ahead and getting things done, and that'll do it. We're done here. Get out of here. So that's the season. That's the season finale. We will leave you on a cliffhanger with Blake Montgomery and everything like that. So we will come back next year and probably tout his praises and go from there. It should be a fun one. But thank you all for listening and support. Obviously, another weird year in terms of recording and in terms of upload dates and things like that. We will kind of take the summer, reassess, kind of go from there with how life is going and everything. So we will be back next year in some form or fashion, and kind of go with that. Figure out what the format's going to be. Figure out what everything. Figuring out, and move on and upward from there. But thanks for all the support you could give. And yeah, I'm Scotty Wazz. Take care of yourself and someone else. This has been Chesapeake Hockey Week, part of the Face Off Hockey Show Media Faction and Podcast Monsters. You guys have a great, great summer. We'll talk to you again probably late September. Stay safe, stay healthy, be happy, play that clutch and crap hockey when you can. And we'll see you next time through. Peace.